what in the hell is going on, Americans? Jericho Green here with you once again. People, let me share a scary ass number with you. So since October, Ice Baby has been forced to release 168,000 people into the interior of the United States. Well, why the hell would ICE do that? Because they have to. Because of your boy Obama. There's a little thing that was signed into law where you cannot hold a family at the border, even though they've come here illegally and tried to cross illegally, for more than 20 days. So if they come here to, air quotes, seek asylum, because now the thing is, now they know, the word is out. I was reading this article and they were saying, you know, according to the people they're interviewing and what they're being told, the word is, because the border situation is going to be tightened up, people are rushing here to get jobs, to live here, to steal their slice of the American pie. The smugglers, the cartels, everybody's telling them, strike while the iron is hot. Get your ass in the U.S. before the door is shut. Now you're probably thinking, well, if they release them into the interior of the United States, they probably have to come back, you know, and fill out some paperwork, talk to somebody, get to the bottom of their situation. And yeah, they do. They release them and say, okay, you got to come back in 3 months to see us so we can figure this out, whether you're going to stay or you're going to go. How many of them do you think come back? About 13%. They say about 87% of them say, fuck that, I'm out. And why wouldn't they? There's no fear of being illegal in America. There's no fear. Just think, if you broke into a country illegally, wouldn't you be a little worried, a little skittish every time you saw a police car go by or you saw any kind of official government vehicle? Wouldn't you be a little worried? You're walking down the street, you see a cop car, you might turn the other way and act like you're looking at something. Wouldn't you be a little on edge? You'd be concerned that you would be found out and sent back home. But that isn't the case here, and hasn't been for a long fucking time. I can remember back, at least 20 years, drive by Home Depot, there's a whole group of them standing out there, just waiting to be picked up to do work. You can't miss them. Little tiny, dark-skinned dudes that look like the cast of Apocalypto. You couldn't miss them. I remember being at work one time, driving by a 7-Eleven, about 8 or 10 of them standing out there, and a cop car, like they were on the corner. The cop was making a right-hand turn, so he actually pulled up right next to him to stop at the red light before he made his turn. And he just went on about his fucking business. I wouldn't have been surprised if they waved at him and said, "Morning, officer." There's no fear. They don't give a shit. Remember George Bush, George W., that globalist fuck? Remember he'd say, oh, they're hiding in the shadows. We got to bring them out of the shadows. Shadows for what? Are they sitting there in the shade waiting for someone to pick them up to do work? You talking about those kind of shadows? Because other than that, ain't no fucking illegal hiding for shit. There's no reason to. There's no consequences. Well, you think they're gonna be on the honor system? All right, yeah, I broke the law to get in here, but I'm turning over a new leaf. I'll be back in 3 months for my court date. Man, please. And it's turning out that a lot of these people showing up with children are not their children. I even saw an article from CNN talking about they have a problem with them doing DNA testing at the border to see if these are your real fucking parents. Come on! Who would have a problem with someone trying to find out, is this your kid or not? If your blood is coursing through their veins, you have nothing to worry about. But they got a problem with that shit. And instead of sealing the border, instead of correcting our porous border Guess what Congress wants to do? They want to have a one-time bill, a one-time payment to Honduras and Guatemala. Why Honduras and Guatemala? Because right now we have 1% of their population here, coming here through these fucking caravans. So they figure, in government fashion, we'll throw some money at it. Whoa. Hold up, you fucking idiots. Instead of giving more of our money to these undeserving clowns, why don't you put that money toward the security of our border? I know. Why don't you solve the problem? Which can be done. You know how I know it can be done? Because damn near every other country in the fucking world does it. That's why. So instead of giving more money to these people, to their corrupt government, that has to filter through all their government's hands before it trickles down to the people, why don't you fix our border? Who is it? Dick Durbin? I think Michael Savage used to call him Turban Durbin. That fucking scumbag. He's blaming the president. He says it's Trump's fault that these people are clamoring to get over the border in record numbers. Tens of thousands of people a month. He says it's President Trump's fault. He created this false crisis at the border. So that's why the people are coming here. Not that they're wrong for coming here illegally. No, it's our fault for enticing them. It's our fault for saying, look, we're going to close this border. So they're like, shit, we better get over there. We better strike while the iron is hot. So it's our fault. It's our fault that they want to come here. So if I got a house and I'm replacing the doors, it's my fault if somebody comes in my house and steals shit. I shouldn't have replaced my doors. My fault. My fault for trying to improve my home. It's not that piece of shit's fault for coming in here illegally. It's my fault for remodeling my home. I get it. It's all me. That's what they thrive on. Shifting responsibility. It's not your fault. It's not your fault, you poor little cold shivering, dirty brown-faced person. It's not your government's fault for being a corrupt piece of shit. It's not even your fault for not fixing it. It's not your fault for not challenging your government and fixing it. No, it's our fault for being the crown jewel atop the world. 168,000 people since October just released into our fucking country. What kind of crazy shit is that? How is that sustainable? Where are these people going? Where are they sleeping? Are they getting jobs? Where are they living? Whose houses are they going into? When you release them, what's happening to these communities? When these people look out their windows and just see the walking dead hordes of people walking down their streets, where are they going? Who are these people? Did you check to see if they had a criminal record? Then they got a bunch of them, a bunch of unaccompanied teens. You meet a bunch of young-looking unaccompanied adults, but they say that they're minors. They say, oh, no, I'm not an adult yet, I'm just a teenager. What kind of silly shit is this? Why do we have to release them into our country? Why don't they say, hey, you need to come back to court in 3 months. So why don't you hang out on that side of the fucking border until your court date? Why do you have to be here? Why do we have to let you in here? Stay over there. Why don't you mill around in the fucking wilderness until your court date? Why the fuck you gotta come here? There's been cases of people finding children with their so-called parents, and they're not their parents. They were sold by their parents. Their own fucking parents sold them into whatever the fuck happens when you trek up here to America. We already know what happens to the girls that come up here. So you're just gonna sell. Look, I don't give a fuck What is going on? You don't sell your damn child to a stranger to come to America. How could you leave your child alone? If anything, you bring your ass with them. Now, of course, I don't want that shit to happen at all. I don't want anybody coming up here illegal, kids or not. Get your ass in line. But how in the hell are you going to sell your child to somebody to come here? What kind of sick shit is that? Imagine being at the line in the line at the DMV, which we all fucking hate, and somebody just walks past you and stands in front of you in line. You're on your fucking lunch break. You've been here for 15 minutes. Somebody just walks right in, walks right up to the counter and takes care of their business. How pissed would you be? And I know that particular one from experience. My mom used to work at the DMV. Hey, perks, people. I'd walk in, one of them would see me, they'd recognize me, one of her co-workers. Oh, come on up. And I'd look at people, they'd be so fucking mad. Why does this dude get to walk up to the front? Who the fuck is he? Exactly. That's how we feel about our country. Who are you walking up here sneaking into our country illegally? Get your ass in line. Why is that such a problem? Everybody else does it. These very countries sending people here, yes, sending them here, have some of the strictest laws ever. What do you think Mexico will do if they catch your illegal ass coming in their country? You're about to bust a U-turn and go right back home. We don't owe the world shit. We've given the world enough blood and enough money. We've paid our bill 1,000-fold. We do not owe you shit. Look, back in the day when America fought Mexico and we took your shit, that's how it was done. If we beat you, we take what we want. To the victor goes the spoils. So back then when you got beaten a war, we take your resources, we take your women, whatever. That's how it was done, period. Now fast forward a couple hundred years, we ain't giving this shit back. It's not yours anymore. What the fuck is going on here? I know in California we got some Spanish names for shit, but it doesn't belong to you. It is ours now and has been for a long time. This shit is insane. They're blaming Trump because people are rushing the fucking border because he's trying to do something about it. And why would Congress not reverse this ridiculous policy that we can't hold you for more than 3 weeks and we have to release you into our fucking country? That shit sounds stupid. And you want to give a one-time... Shut up. Nothing is one time with you clowns. It's easy to spend other people's fucking money. One time. Why don't you do a one-time payment to fix our fucking border so we can be done with it? Why can't you do that? Why don't you do a one-time payment to secure the sovereignty of our nation? Build that shit to the moon. I want that wall to be so high that you got to put those little flashing lights on top of it so airplanes don't crash into it at night. That's how high I want it. I want it so high that when the geese are migrating down south for the winter, they look at that and go, fuck, we gotta go around. Why don't you sign a one-time bill to help us one time? How about this one time you do what the fuck we want you to do? Just one time. Fucking slimy, slithering, weasel motherfuckers. You know what, people? Let me go ahead and hop in this damn rat race. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow your boy on the Twitters @green_Jericho. Utilize the PayPal link in the description box. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.